Hello to all my friends out there. So someone said they made bread and someone said they made a mess. So I want to demonstrate how I make the bread without making a mess. Okay, I put 3/4 warm water in this bowl. I heated it in the microwave and then I let it cool down to like a warm bath. Then I put 1/2 tablespoon regular sugar. I just got it out of my sugar bowl, which was good because, you know, that way I'm using my sugar up. I bought this yeast and I have made tons of bread with this from 99¢ only. And I put 2 1/2 teaspoons of yeast in there. Then I covered this and I let the yeast activate it. And then I poured it in the bowl. I put a little bit of salt. It doesn't call for salt, the recipe I used, but I put a little salt. Then I added about 1 cup whole wheat flour. I bought this at 99¢ only. And I added about 1 cup of this white flour. And so from here on out, I will be using the white flour. I found this wheat flour to be really good. I will be searching around and I will find some. You know what? That is one of the big pitfalls to bread making. I mean, who wants to make a hellacious mess? Especially, you know, on your day off. All you need is one more mess to clean up, right? So now I'm just adding, I usually sift it. I'm just adding flour little by little. So today I made yogurt and now I'm making bread, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to make some easy potato soup. But what I want to do is I want to pretend that I don't have much money and oh boy, what am I going to do? And I want to make sure that I have some cheap recipes. So another thing is, if you're getting your money in a few days, like, you know, my friend, she thinks she's rich by the 3rd. The last 11 days of the month, not so good. But say if the first week of, okay, so say you're running out of food on the last week of the month. Well, when you get your money, if you're very cheap, the first week of the month, I mean, not to the point of being miserable, but you're rather cheap. You know, there are situations that are just not enough money. So that's why I've been doing the dumpster diving. And I don't think anybody begrudges somebody who really needs money to do the dumpster diving. First of all, they've never given me a problem. I did get a chair. I didn't get any food yet. Not yet. One of the followers said you have to know where to go and when to get the food. So that takes a little, you know, a little knack to it to, so you can see my bread is still a little sticky. But I think everybody should kind of have an idea of how to do some of this stuff. Okay, so why stealthy car living? Why bother to think about that? Well, what if there was some kind of an evacuation and you had no idea how to live in a car? You would be a whole lot more miserable than someone who had some kind of idea. And if you had food in your car as well, somebody said, one of the followers said, and I thought this was good, she had some food in the car and she got stuck in some traffic jam, and so they were able to get some food out of the trunk. I thought that was a good one. The comments are awesome. You guys should read the comments. One of the comments today that was super good, see how I'm not making much of a mess, was the person said that they kept every scrap of food that they didn't eat in the freezer, and then at the end of the month they didn't go without food. So that's a good tip. I know there's some power to the fragments of food thing. I mean, all the Christians know that goes back to the Bible, but probably in all the religions. So, you know, by carefully saving all of your food, being very careful with your resources, you're going to run the risk. You're going to, you're going to have a little food where you normally wouldn't. And another thing is, if you don't have that much money or food, I would suggest the pantries and the food banks, and the churches. Don't forget those. I was surprised, when we went to those pantries, there was no questions asked in the one. I said, oh, I don't need the food. And the lady said, oh, well, you can get the food too. I mean, the food is there if you want to. So see how I'm adding and if you're embarrassed, I would suggest just bucking it up and doing it, just like the dumpster diving. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. How about doing the dumpster diving in the dark of night? How about wearing sunglasses when you go to get the food? I mean, doing whatever you have to. Also, it is a good example of to the children, if you have children, that your children, what's important is, what's real. It's not really important what the neighbors think. They're not the ones sitting around without, well, that's what you think. After I was doing this, I went to the food banks. You'd be surprised. Well, it doesn't take much to cause a little financial distress. So there is a really good tip. Save all your fragments of food. Don't throw out the last cookie. I told my friend, if you get a chance, get a free salad dressing, get a free ketchup, get a free cookie, get whatever you can get, a little extra, wherever you can get it. If there's packages of cookies that have 2 dozen as opposed to 1 dozen, if there's a large can as opposed, so now I'm leading. See, I'm not making much of a mess. So this is my super easy recipe. Let me give you the recipe. I like to put the recipes in every single video, and welcome to all the new followers. It's the Pioneer white bread. So all you really need, flour, yeast, and water. And sugar. And you can get sugar packets, wherever they serve coffee. And I bought both of the flours for $1. I bought this at Dollar Tree for $1. Okay, so now, what I want to do is, when I found out they put the lard in the food boxes, I've been using the lard, in places. I'm going to make little bowls so I can have some. I'm going to come back, and I put a little flour. My dough is a little sticky. I'm going to come back, and so I want to make some nice little bread bowls. This is a half a batch. So I'm going to raise this bread, and then I'm going to make some potato soup. Oh, I wanted to mention something too. I got the 3 books today. The 2 books. What I did is I traded the 1 paperback book. I'll show it to you when I come back. Well, one of the followers said she sold one of her books for $3.99. That gives you, okay, so I'll just let these, I'll cover it with a napkin, and then I'll rise it, and I'll put a little margarine on the top, and I'll bake it. Okay, now here's what I do, okay? I just put everything in the bowl, and I put water and soap, and I just soak it, and then see, you guys, that's not much of a mess. So I will try selling the books for $3.99. I'm just trying to generate $3 a day so that I don't have to take my $21 a week out of my regular budget to save my $1,000. And so since I got the books for 10 cents, I go, these would be good books to try it on. So, okay, thank you guys for the comments, and God bless you all.